Today, Wednesday the 8th. Sorry for the delay in getting the report out to you today. Had a ton of stuff to do today, had some morning appointments, so that put me behind schedule. Did get a trade in today, and as you can see, I've got some levels marked here. I'm trying something different and new. Going back to about 8:30, 8 o'clock in the pre-market and setting support and resistance areas here to see how they track throughout the rest of the day. So that's what these lines right here are for. This dotted line here and dotted line here. This is the support and resistance from the pre-market starting at about 8 o'clock. So the first opening bell 3-minute candle had a resistance of 515.78. The support was 515.14. And zooming in on the chart, you can see we got the second 3-minute candle, the third 3-minute candle was close, did a little peekaboo, came back down. The next candle did the same thing, came back down, was red. However, on this candle here at 9:42, it breached and went up. Therefore, I grab calls at, let's see what time I get this over. I grab calls at 9:45, which is on this candle here, and I got 3 contracts at 5:15 was a strike. Paid $363 for them. It was a little gun shy since I took a loss on yesterday, so instead of 4, I did 3. I'll go back to 4 tomorrow. We sold those guys at a 6% gain at 9:45, which was 4 minutes later. 9:49, 4 minutes later is when we got out and sold those guys for $385. So 9:49 would have been on this candle between here and here is when we actually got out of the trade. So um actually we went a little higher. Actually could have stayed in a little longer here, but I took my 6% and got out because I had an appointment today. So now I've got I think it's like maybe a 6 or 7 day data set on the 15-minute SPX that I was trading. I'll introduce it to you here now. So give me a second to get some stuff transferred over. Okay, so the way this works, SPX is a index off of the S&P 500 top stocks in America. It's similar to SPY, it's basically the same chart as SPY, but this is an index. So with options trading on this, there's no risk of assignment. This isn't a European style option, which means that it expires at a certain time, when these are 0 days to expiration options. So these options expire the same day, and there's no risk of assignment. It's all cash settled. So I've got the last 5 days of 15-minute bar candles here loaded on the chart. So let me show you basically what we did today. The first 15-minute opening candle had a range of 551.73.91. Resistance, that was resistance. Support was 551.65.86. So the philosophy or trigger on this is, once you get your next 15-minute candle breaches either the support or the resistance, this is where you do a credit spread. And to do credit spreads, you would use bull puts. You are bullish by using the put instrument, and you would sell a credit spread to open. So that's what I did. Let me drag this over, and we get this guy down here, so you can see at 9:45, which, as we breached this one on this next candle here, we submitted a credit spread, and we got, wait a minute, is this right? No, that is my SPY trade. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened on that. I made a mistake. I think I had the SPY trade ticket on that one. But anyway, this is the correct one now. At 9:49, I entered a vertical spread. I sold the 51.50 puts, and bought the 51.45 puts all in the same ticket and got a 45 cents credit. Now, since I had an appointment today, I left and I set a close order to buy this option back when it reached 15 cents. So the difference between 45 cents and 15 cents is 30 cents. So I kept 30 cents credit, which will be $30 per contract. We got 3 contracts, so that was $90 that I made to have this buy back automatically for 15-cent debit. So that's the difference and explains the numbers. Now, had I been in front of the computer and able to watch this trade all day, my short strike that I sold was 51.50. Keep that number in mind, 51.50, which would have been 51.50. Let me zoom this in. So I'm going to draw a line. 51.50 would be right here. So at the beginning, when I took the trade here, all I had to do was to make sure, or not make sure, but watch and see and make sure that SPY or SPX doesn't dip down to this level, and I would have kept all of my credit. So had I stayed in this trade for the duration of the day, it would have expired worthless, and I would have made 45 cents a contract times 3. What's that? 45 times 3 is 135, and basically took no heat, because after we breached here, it didn't even come back down and touch the O support resistance area here on this green line. So had I been able to watch, I could have just stayed in this trade and let it expire worthless and made a few extra dollars, but again, I had to go. So I think on this particular trading, I got like maybe 8 or 9 winners and maybe 1 loser. Had to go back and look at my trade journal notes, but this is basically the explanation of the SPX trade off of the 15-minute trigger. Now let me minimize this and let's go back and look at the last 5 days. So on this day right here, the top and bottom, you would have marked the top and bottom off here, which would have been there on that candle, and the bottom would have been there on that candle, and you would have did a credit spread for calls, and this day right here, it would not have worked. Alright, so let's clear this off. Yep, I'm clearing the drawing set. On this day right here, top, bottom, we breached here, so you would have sold a call credit spread, and depending on if you would have took your profit of, let's say you got 45 cents and did the same thing I did today and closed it at 15 cents, it would have worked here depending on where your short strike was. So that's pretty much how it plays out. It's not too complicated to understand, but I know it will probably be a little learning curve starting out at first. So just give me any questions. I'll explain to you how it works, but currently it's been working for me, so we'll basically see what tomorrow brings. Now, this particular style of trading, this is a vertical spread and it's a credit spread, so you will have to use margin. If your account is not at least $25,000, you'll only be able to do 3 of these a week if you close them. If you let them expire, then you can do more than 3 days a week. So hopefully that wasn't too difficult to understand. If it is, just get with me and we'll basically explain to you how it works. So recording is about 9 minutes today. I know it's a little longer and later than usual, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll see what we have for you tomorrow. Thanks. Have a good night.